From chronic pain. First time I felt, I call it an attack, was when I was about 12 years old. And I've spent most of my life trying to cope with it with meditation and medication.
That is the biggest idea that I need to be able to challenge without necessarily saying you will have cured, you will have this, because I can't say that. I really have no idea where this would go. But I do know one thing 100% for sure. So how are you guys doing? Good? Did the first session, what we started with today, did that kind of give you some food for thought, right? As you think about just the concept of pain, maybe in your own life, and very importantly, if you were going to be specializing this and working with people in pain, is your own attitude beginning to shift? Are you having a different relationship to the whole thing? Yes? Given your current skill set, I know we haven't looked at specific pain control methods yet, but given your current skill set in hypnosis and your shift in attitude that we've talked about this morning, how many of you are already feeling more comfortable, more confident about the idea of maybe helping someone who's in pain out to help them? Excellent. That was really one of my main themes for today. So here's what we're going to do in a moment. In a moment, we're going to run through a protocol to prepare someone for pain control hypnosis, right? The protocol is more important than the method you use afterwards. So we'll spend some time practicing it to really ingrain it. Is that okay with you guys? So we'll do some exercises, we'll build it up just like we've done in other things. But I want you to really get the feel for the protocol and realize the protocol is like any other protocol we have, is flexible. It's to give you sort of stepping stones that you want to hit somewhere along the way. We hit most of those with Russ. One of them I skipped largely because I forgot to do it. I would have done it otherwise, but we just ran into it, and it'll make more sense when we get there. Before we do that, however, what I'd like to do is have another quick chat with the rest of our happy panel of volunteers. And just have a little chat to check two things. Number one, my strong suspicion is just having this discussion this morning that their experience of whatever pain they had has already shifted. Would that be fair to say, folks? Shifted a little bit? Okay, good. It's very natural for that to happen. I also want to have a sense of where you guys are at right now in terms of what you're experiencing and so on, so that if one of your experiences matches some of the themes we're going to be bringing out later today, then we can use it as a demo subject. And if it doesn't, then I may not be able to come back to you. Please don't take any offense. It's nothing personal. I just want you guys to have the best learning experience, best understanding of hypnosis as possible. Does that make sense to you guys? I could do, pain control demos after a demo, but if it confuses you more than you learn from it, then it's just entertainment. It's not actually training. Okay? So, do you guys want to get up one at a time and just give me a little bit more of a sense of what's going on? Gary, would you like to start? So just to give a half face so people can kind of half see you a little as well. So hey, Gary. Everyone say hello, Gary.
Everybody.
Feels like an AA meeting, doesn't it? So Gary, do you want to tell us a little bit about what is happening in terms of the pain that you've come
Well, I suffer from chronic pain. First time I felt, I call it an attack, was when I was about 12 years old. And I've spent most of my life trying to cope with it with meditation and medication. Okay, so anyway, the first time I felt this, I was about 12 years old, and I've spent most of my life trying to deal with this through meditation and medication. It took 25 years before I remembered what caused this pain, and I'll share that with you. My older brother and I, we would go out and play on the banks of Cottonwood Creek as a kid, and I was out there pounding on the rocks with a hammer, and he was fishing, and I was pounding so hard I hit my head with a hammer. And I thought, wow, that's really amazing. It almost knocked me out. I was going to go over and ask my brother, did I leave a spot here? And as I was walking up behind him, he cast his line out into the creek, and the fish hook caught me in the back of the neck. He tried to pull it out, and he wasn't able to pull it out, so he cut the line, and I went running home. Now, something that's not too clear, there was a woman there who happened to be a nurse. I don't know if she happened to be there or she was a neighbor that somebody sent out for. But she came back into the bathroom, and there I was standing over the sink with this fish hook in my neck, and she pushed it through so that she could cut the barb off and pull it out. And when she did that, she damaged one of the nerves in my neck, the lesser occipital nerve. I know this because when I was about 25, I had some exploratory surgery to figure out what was wrong with this, and they found a lot of scar tissue there along that nerve. They cleaned up, and hey, that was good for about, what was it, about 6 months that I didn't feel any pain, but after that, the pain returned.
So can you just pause you there?
So that's my story.
Excellent. Are you experiencing it right now? Or is it just something
I
that comes
do
and
have
comes?
some discomfort now.
So on a level scale of 1 to 10, where is it right now?
Well, it's about a 4, and
Okay.
this is kind of the stage that it's at, that if it really gets any worse than this, I want to consider taking medication.
I understand. That's excellent. And if I understand you correctly, it comes and goes. In other words, sometimes it's down to like a 1 or 2, sometimes up to 9 and 10.
Well, sometimes I'm totally pain-free.
Okay, but sometimes it's higher than this as well,
And
correct?
I've felt a 10, and at that time
Thank
I have
you.
to tell you I want to
Thank
die.
you very much. There's a lot we can do with this. Hopefully we'll get to it. I really would like to dive in right now, but I would rather give you a method than just to dive in. But the temptation is very high. But so thank you. You stand up?
I've had chronic back problems for a bunch of years.
Upper back, lower back?
Primarily, actually, it originally started thoracic.
So like sort of middle,
Right.
bottom shoulder plate area?
Right.
Okay.
And now the world I'm in is I was in pretty much almost constant pain for about 6 or 8 months. Finally decided to go see a doctor.
Okay.
The MRIs show arthritis L1 through S1.
Okay. It's just the labels they give to different bits of the spine.
Basically, the entire lumbar spine is arthritic. Good news, nothing structurally wrong. Bad news is the arthritic pain won't go away.
Pause.
So they say.
Right. Can you see where people practicing defensive medicine are, and it's something they have to tell people because of the litigation and so on, but it's not really serving their clients entirely, is it? Now, I can't tell them, oh, yes, of course, we'll make it go away, we'll cure it, like that, because for starters, I will probably arrest and spend a good long time in jail for trying to help, which is something I'd rather not do, right? But at the same token, I can't allow the client to latch onto that belief as complete, because otherwise, what the heck's he doing here, right? So the condition will continue, but what is you hoping from hypnotherapy at this point?
In reality, I mean, it varies from mild discomfort through I can
Excellent.
barely walk on it.
So in your own experience, you realize there are times when it's worse and there are times when it's better.
Right.
Is that correct?
Correct.
So whether or not the doctor's right about the underlying condition remaining, it's reasonable to presuppose that you can spend the rest of your life with less rather than more, if not nothing at all, because that's just a lot of less, isn't it?
Right. So the objective for me is on the bad days to be able to push it down.
Excellent. So let's pause it there. On a scale of 1 to 10, where is it right now? Just take the mic. Take the mic.
2, 3,
2, 3,
comes and
so
goes.
it's okay.
It's kind of floating.
On a bad day, where would it be?
Sometimes I can barely put weight on my leg.
So we're like a 9,
So that would
10,
be like
right?
9, 10, yeah.
Excellent. Just pass it back. Okay? Have I already started doing work? Yes. Because we saw the biggest stumbling block is, and you saw how much emotion you put into the idea that it will always be there, it'll never go away, right? That is the biggest idea that I need to be able to challenge without necessarily saying you will have cured, you will have this, because I can't do that. I can't say that. You appreciate that, right? I have no idea where it'll go. I really have no idea where this would go. But I do know one thing 100% for sure. Regardless of whatever happened in his back, his body, his mind, has the capacity, in combination with lots of different systems that are present, to make the rest of his life comfortable enough to enjoy it, go through life, and so on.